This video will introduce you to interpretive research. After watching, you should be able to describe interpretive research, recognize examples of research questions and methods, and begin finding interpretive research articles relevant to your area of interest that employ an interpretive approach. What is interpretive research? Interpretive research is an approach within social and human science research that focuses on interpretation and meaning-making as opposed to explanation and exact understanding as its primary purpose. In general, interpretivist researchers believe that what we know is interpreted subjectively through our own experiences and understanding, and that researchers' experiences, beliefs, and values are influential in all phases of the research process. Interpretivist researchers strive to understand subjective human perspectives and experiences. Research questions that have been addressed by an interpretive approach include, for example, how do people come to terms with the death of a partner? How does a woman's sense of identity change during the transition to motherhood? And what forms of social support are helpful to people in pain? Links to these studies, and others, are available on the research guide highlighted at the end of the video. Since interpretivist researchers attempt to understand human experience, their research relies heavily on methods that study, observe, and analyze people naturalistically and qualitatively. Observations, interviews, case studies, focus groups, and analyses of cultural records, archives, and personal experiences are all research methods that might be used in an interpretive research study. Surveys and questionnaires may be used to complement other data sources, but interpretivist studies are not likely to involve methods like controlled experiments in laboratories. Before we talk about finding research, let's take a moment to review some key points. Question 1. Which of the following statements best describes the goal of interpretive research studies? A. To discover and report on objective facts. Or B. To interpret and make meaning of subjective experiences. If you answered B, you are correct. Interpretive research focuses on interpretation and meaning-making as opposed to explanation and exact understanding. Question 2. Which of the following research methods is least likely to be featured in an interpretive research study? A. Interviews. B. Case studies. C. Controlled lab experiments. Or D. Focus groups. If you answered C, you are correct. Interpretive studies most frequently employ qualitative research methods such as interviews, case studies, and focus groups. Since they focus on human experience, they're less likely to employ controlled lab experiments for gathering data. So how do you find interpretive research articles relevant to your area of interest? One approach is to search in Google Scholar or the library's main search engine for interpretive or interpretivist, plus keywords related to your area of interest. However, searching in a research database that covers your area of interest and specifying that the words interpretivist or interpretive must appear in an article's abstract should get you better results. For this research approach, databases geared towards social sciences disciplines may be your best bet. Try social sciences full text, PsycInfo, or child development and adolescent studies. Here's a tip. Some platforms allow you to search multiple databases at once. While you're in one database, you can click on Choose Databases next to Social Sciences Full Text to select PsycInfo as well. Now you should be able to describe interpretive research, recognize examples of interpretive research questions and methods, and begin finding articles relevant to your area of interest that employ an interpretive approach. For additional resources, check out the Library Research Guide page on interpretive research at guides.lib.purdue.edu/research_approaches/interpretive research. If you have any questions, contact the libraries via our digital chat service Ask a Librarian at lib.purdue.edu/help/ask-a-lib. Thank you for watching.